Okay, so I will explain things structurally, and I will begin with the education system, as in how were my experiences within that, and what I can remember of it. Okay, to start with it, it's even before kindergarten. You go to some place where parents can drop you off, and you have to be there instead of being home. And I have one of my first memories of being there, and this was one of the memories that has been used as most dominant within my life. This memory was about I was being dropped by at this school, and I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to be home. But this wasn't possible. And so I was dropped there. According to stories, I tried to make several attempts to stay at home by crying and crying and crying, and that my mother would pick me up again and just stay at home. But eventually she came to a point where I was dropped there, and I was like, okay, this isn't working out. I can be at home, so I have to manage myself here. So from then I came consciously aware that I was able to pretend, and so I did. This memory is about I was sitting in a corner where you can play with puppets, and I was aware of my surroundings. So when people were looking at me, the grown-ups, I was just pretending that I was having fun and that I was playing with these puppets, making all those little voices and stuff like that. And when they didn't look, I just put them away and didn't do anything, because I knew that if they were thinking that I was having fun, there was no problem with it. They would leave me alone. What I was curious about the whole experience there was that I saw beings really enjoying themselves there with toys, clay, or drawing, and I didn't enjoy myself that much with that, because I wanted to play outside or do some more active things. And to think about it, there was a room behind that other room, which was a place where you can run and stuff like that, and that was really cool. I enjoyed myself when we would gather around in a circle, and one of those grown-ups would read stories from books, and we could all decide what book we would like to hear, what story we'd like to hear. And one of those grown-ups liked me, as in she could appreciate me being there, and I often chose a book and I tried to make her pick that book every time, but that didn't work out, because then she was saying, hey, there are other BAs who want to hear maybe some different stories, so maybe next time. And I was okay, that's good. But yeah, that was my experience with mostly my experience of being at the school before kindergarten. And the memory I just explained or described has been very dominant within my self-definition and how I have developed myself. So I will continue about, what's it called, yeah, kindergarten.